citing the fact that suddenly it's everywhere. But then that Venus and Adonis moment passes, and puppetry fades once more into the shadows until it's wheeled out again to take centre stage a few years later. As Steve Titlady and plenty of others in the puppet world have pointed out to me, this has a huge amount to do with funding, and I think that's something that, that you just cannot get away from. Without money, without infrastructure, and without training, no art form has an opportunity to grow and develop and really be seen. It's this lack of visibility that is puppetry's problem when it comes to critical attention, or rather, it's the problem that sets the critics rather than puppetry. After all, if we go off, all trot off as critics to see a bad, go off to see The Tempest, and it turns out that it's a really bad version, critics never turn around and say, "Oh, I'm never going to see The Tempest again," But it strikes me that this happens all the time with puppetry, with other areas like kind of children's work, with live art. See one less than brilliant example, and critics believe that the entire art form can be safely written off, and that they don't need to go near it for another 10 years. For most of us critics, what puppetry is and what we think it is are two entirely different things. I think mime is a very good example of something else that's kind of suffered from a similar PR problem, a kind of, great difference between what is and what it is conceived as being. Reviews of mime almost always begin with a mention of Marcel Marceau and invisible boxes, followed by an expression of surprise that mime can encompass the spoken word. It takes a very, very long time to change perception.